Thank you for joining us. The Supreme Court has dismissed the trial of former Chief Security Officer to ex-military head of state, General Sani Abacha. Major Hamza Al-Mustafa retired over the murder of Kudirat Abiola. The Apex Court ruled that Lagos State failed to act on its own request to reopen the case. During proceedings, the state made no appearance and filed no legal processes since 2014 when it was granted permission to revive the trial. Counsel to Al-Mustafa, Paul Daudu, told the court that Lagos State neither filed a notice of appeal nor took any steps within the 30-day window earlier granted by the court. The justices held that the prolonged inaction showed a lack of interest in prosecuting the case, effectively bringing the trial to an end. The bandits who abducted 177 Christian worshippers from Kumunwali community in Kajuru local government area of Kaduna State have demanded the return of 17 motorcycles allegedly lost during recent military operations as a condition for the victims' release. The worshippers were kidnapped from 3 churches on Sunday morning during coordinated attacks on the community. The village head of Kumunwali, Ishaku Dan Azumi, disclosed this to News Central correspondent on Wednesday, saying the bandits contacted a negotiator acting on behalf of the community and insisted that the missing motorcycles must be returned before the captives could regain their freedom. Meanwhile, the United States is urging Nigeria's government to take stronger and more decisive steps to protect Christian communities across the country. The call follows the abduction of more than 170 worshippers in Kaduna State, an incident that has renewed fears over religiously motivated violence. Authorities in Kaduna and the police initially denied that anyone had been taken on Monday. However, police later confirmed the abductions on Wednesday. The kidnappers are now demanding the return of 17 motorcycles, worth nearly 29 million naira, which they say were seized during recent military operations in exchange for the victims. Also, the Southern and Middle Belt Leadership Forum has called for the immediate sanction of key Kaduna State officials over the public denial of the mass abduction of Christians in the state. In a statement made available in Kaduna, the forum demanded disciplinary action against the Commissioner of Police. The Commissioner, for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Sule Shuaibu, the Kaduna State Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Rabiu, and the Chairman of Kajuru Local Government Area, Madaki Dauda. The group described their initial denial of the kidnapping of 177 Christians in Kumunwali as irresponsible and shocking. Let's bring in our correspondent who has been following this development in Kaduna State, Emmanuel Bagudu, alongside Oba Oladipo Olaito, leader of Afenifere Group and chairman of Southern and Middle Belt Leadership Forum. Gentlemen, thank you for being here with us tonight. Emmanuel, what is the latest coming out of Kaduna? Is this request for return of missing motorcycle legit?
Yes, it is legit. I have confirmed that from Isha Kudan Azmi. And let me correct that script. I didn't send that script, obviously. The return of 17 motorcycles is just to open an opportunity for negotiation to start. Not that 17 motorcycles will guarantee the release of 106. That Azmi Ishaku, the community leader of Kumunwali, told me that the negotiators said that if they return the 17 motorcycle either in cash or in kind or in material, each of the 17 motorcycle is worth 1.7 million naira. And when you calculate that times 17 is 29 million. So if they can return that, and that is when they will start negotiating for the release of 166 members of their community. Thank you. I've declared that, I think. Yeah.
Crazy how they are making this demand. I mean, just after the security officials acknowledged that the event actually happened. And then we also hear, can you confirm that the community is saying the bandits and those that they kidnapped were sighted walking towards an unknown destination. Is that fact? And do you know if that information has been shared with the police?
Yes, it is a fact. Isha Kudan Azmi also confirmed to me that they were seen around Maro. Maro is a border community between Kachia and Kajuru local government. They were sighted from a far distance, leading the 166 into a forest, and they called their members and tell them, call police, this is where they are. And the community leader spread the message on the WhatsApp group, spread the message on the people, his people who are in the diaspora, spread the message of his people to his people who are outside the village. That informed security agencies, this is the information we are getting from the people of Maru, that they have seen a procession, or rather an exodus, or rather a movement of those bandits with our kidnapped brothers and sisters moving around. Yes, it is confirmed. That's what the man told me, yeah.
So you're also going to, suspect, confirm the fact that there was a communication, a telephone communication between the community and these kidnappers stating some of these requests. What is the police saying about investigating this connection? We have telecommunication outfits that can investigate and trace this call. As ordinary as that.
Yes, it is not for them to come and investigate us. It's not for them to come and investigate our claims, because we have tried to reach them and their numbers are not growing. We have made our position known in public. We have published our stories, and we are republishing right now. It's not for them to invite us to find out whether what we're saying is true or not. But nobody has invited us, and they are not responding to anybody's call. So it's not. It is our job is to report what we see and to give an account of how we see it. That's just it. Yeah.
Okay, one more question before I let you go. Yesterday, we talked about the assurances given by Governor Sani Uba to the residents that there will be a quick rescue. And then today, we are having these very clear communications between the community and the abductors. The governor says the police has swung into action. In your assessment, what is the effort that is obvious so far to bring these people out of captivity?
Well, I am not a security operative. I am not a civil society person. I am a reporter. I only report what I heard. I only report what I see.
Yes, and that's what I'm asking you, actually, Emmanuel. That is what I'm, Emmanuel, that is what I'm asking you.
And my sources.
Emmanuel,
that's give any assessment, because for me, what I see is what I report, and what I report is there at News Central's platforms, and it's verifiable. And I'm waiting for any invitation from any security agencies to tell me that what I've reported is right or wrong. Yeah.
Okay, I was actually just trying to find out if the government has communicated actions that they will take, but I get what you're saying. Let's bring in our guest, our second guest actually, Obao Lighton. You've heard my colleague, and you've heard of all that the kidnappers are saying today. Your group has called for the sanction of the Kaduna Police Command over the earlier denial of the attack. Based on this development that we just highlighted, don't you think there are more important things at stake at this time, like the rescue of the abductees, than the sanction for the officers?
Good evening, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Well, what is at stake is you and me. That's what's at stake. What is at stake is you and me. It is this country. This is how bad we have gone. In a sane society, all of us discussing this matter should be in one custody or the other. I listened to the last gentleman, who is a pressman, and unfortunately, you can see his attitude. It's like, well, I'm just reporting, it's not my headache, it's what I see that I hear. There's no empathy in us. We've gone, we've finished. It's a pity. The duty of the government is to protect lives and property of all. But are they doing so? Certainly not. And then one governor will wear one shiny cap in the 250 million Jeep and cruise and with about a battalion of policemen come.
So not to distract you, sir, but my question is that a priority? The calling for the sanction of the officers, is that a priority now?
I heard your question. I'm telling you that it is not, you haven't gotten to the root of the matter. Why are we where we are? Why are we where we are? That's it. The system has failed completely. The very moment you start discussing about crime in this way, then we're in a problem. What I'm saying is that the abductors know the government officials. The government officials know the abductors. So they're sitting down discussing the fate of human beings. It's lost. It's lost. The very moment government is discussing with abductors of human beings and then negotiating on what price to pay or what not price to pay, we've lost it. We've completely lost it.
All right, let's talk about the U.S. earlier warning that if terrorist attacks continue in Nigeria, it may be forced again to interfere militarily. Would you welcome such an interference at this time, seeing the number of people that were taking?
They should have come since yesterday. We were all here when the last government, Buhari, was bringing people into this country, and we had one minister part-time or whatever he called himself, issuing out N18 to foreigners free of charge. And we were corrupting our system, corrupting our legacy. This is what we get for it. The army, the United States Army should be here. The Israeli Army should be here. We cannot manage this matter. It's beyond us. It's beyond us. These people have been abducted now since Sunday. Today is Thursday, about 5 days ago, and we are still talking like this. Where are these people get 170-something people? Where are they? Where are they kept? You have surveillance cameras, you say you have Tucana aeroplanes. What are they seeing in the sky? Are you telling me that people are not around these places? So what are we hearing? What is happening? It is money-making ritual they are doing.
So what is the way forward? What are your suggestions as a group? What are you doing to push for better action in terms of securing lives and properties, not just for Christians, but for all Nigerians?
Well, thank you very much. Our group, we are not military. We are not military.
Yeah, but are you pushing the government? What is your contribution in this fight?
Me, I will tell you what we are doing. I'm just telling you that we don't carry arms. But we will sensitize the people. We will sensitize the society. We will let the world know what's happening. For example, USA knows what's happening, Israel knows about what is happening, and the world knows about. We will continue to push. And let me tell you, if this country is not restructured, we will always be around here. We'll come back to this. It's a pity. When we sit down to discuss this matter like this, one is ashamed. Ashamed.
But we'll have to leave it there for now. That's the much time will permit us. Thank you very much for speaking with us. Emmanuel, also thank you for being here and your coverage of events in Kaduna.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And thank you for...
Staying with security matters, 7 miners were killed after unknown gunmen attacked a mining site in Kuru, just south local government area of Plateau State Wednesday night. The Plateau State Police confirmed the attack, saying investigations are ongoing. Just South lawmaker Dalyop Isaac described the incident as another unwarranted assault on miners. The killings bring to 19 the number of miners killed in similar attacks within the past month, following a December 19 incident in Bankin Ladi where 12 miners were murdered. Coming up, Governor Makinde visits President Tinubu in the State House. We'll tell you about that after this break. Thank you for staying with us. You're watching Tonight on News Central. A reminder of our top stories. Supreme Court dismisses suit seeking retrial of Al-Mustafa, former CSO to late head of state Sani Abacha, over Kudirat Abiola's murder. U.S. lawmakers task Nigeria to bolster protection for Christians amid incessant attacks and abductions. Rivers State Chief Judge declines Assembly's request to constitute probe panel for Governor Fubara's impeachment. And United Kingdom snubs Trump's signing ceremony for Gaza Board of Peace over concerns of Putin's involvement. The Chief Judge of Rivers State, Justice Simeon Amadi, has declined the State Assembly's request to set up an investigative panel to probe Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy, Ngozi Maudu. Justice Amadi cited existing court orders and a pending appeal as reasons for his decision. In a letter to Speaker Martin Amaule, he confirmed receiving the Assembly's impeachment request, but said his office had already been served with interim injunctions restraining him from acting on the process. The injunctions were issued by Rivers State High Court following suits filed by Governor Fubara and his deputy. The Assembly has since appealed the orders at a court of appeal. Invoking the doctrine of lease pendants, the Chief Judge said all parties must maintain status quo until the courts decide the matter. Let's tell you that Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde on Thursday had a closed-door meeting with President Bola Tinubu. Governor Makinde arrived shortly after Plateau State Governor Caleb Mufwang, who recently defected from the PDP to the ruling All Progressive Congress. The meeting comes amid a lingering rift between Governor Makinde and former Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike, now Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, over the future of the PDP and alignments ahead of 2027 elections. Governor Makinde has repeatedly stated his commitment to preserving multi-party democracy and maintaining independence in his political choices.
We're talking about governance here, so I came to discuss with the president on some governance issues, basically.
The Lagos State Police has uncovered what it described as a suspected fraud syndicate operating in parts of the state. The discovery followed an initial arrest of a passenger robbery gang popularly called One Chance Operators, which led to wider raids and arrest of other suspects. News Centre's Placidia Iwekulie has more.
The Lagos State Police told newsmen that the arrests of 3 suspects during a stop-and-search operation led to the uncovering of a wider criminal syndicate.
Our team intercepted the 3 initial suspects arrested that are occupying this vehicle. This gang is led by Demola Ade Lua. He has about 6 teams across Lagos State. And when I mean 6 gang, in the sense that these gangs have operational vehicles that they use to pick unsuspecting members of the public in the early hours of the morning and in the wee hour of the night. They take them from different locations to where we are now and take them into that room that is called their shrine. 3 suspects that were arrested yesterday are the people that they sent out. The leader of the gangs are 2, the superior one and the 2 IC.
The raid to rout the criminal syndicate took place in the Dimu area of Lagos State. After the arrest, the suspects narrated how they lure unsuspecting victims to their hideout.
This woman go tell the story, say he carry $1.
Okay.
So as he talk, say carry $1.
Okay.
Any person where they greedy, go begin to ask how he manage get the $1. From there, this man will join up, begin to interview the person. If the person fall, we carry and come here.
Okay.
Then we collected money from the person, and I paid the money back, sir.
Collected how?
300,000.
From which person?
The Mugu. The client, sir.
Residents of the area say they were unaware that such a criminal hideout existed in their vicinity
We just see them, we don't know what is going on. If to say I know, I will not come out today, I don't know.
Me, I don't observe. Because I'm an old man, I cannot be looking here and there.
The Commissioner of Police for Lagos State, Olorundare Jimoh, urged residents and Lagosians to remain vigilant and continue to cooperate with security agencies, stressing that measures are in place to tackle crime across the state.
We are making progress in crime prevention and control throughout the state. And I want to assure Lagosians that they should go about their lawful business and other activities without fear of or apprehension. Full deployment have been carried out in the nook and cranny of the state.
CP Olorundare Jimoh further assured Lagosians that the command remains committed to ensuring safety across the state, with strategies already in place to effectively tackle criminal activities. He said investigations are ongoing and more arrests may follow as efforts continue to dismantle criminal networks across Lagos.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission says it has uncovered a fraudulent investment scheme that lured more than 200 Nigerians, losing over 18 billion naira. Speaking during a media briefing in Abuja, the Commission spokesman Wilson Owujare also revealed another scheme involving an online airline discount scam that duped over 900 citizens to the tune of 651 million naira and was masterminded by a foreign national. Owujare says the EFCC is currently working in collaboration with airline operators, the Interpol and other relevant agencies to unmask the suspects behind these scams and bring them to justice.
They said no, they were not aware. So we now told, and they will tell you the procedures to follow. Grant or any government.
The Department of State Services witness has testified against Omoyele Sowore in its ongoing defamation trial over alleged false claims against President Bola Tinubu. The witness, an operative of the DSS Cyberspace Monitoring Center, played a video of President Tinubu's address during his visit to Brazil. The court admitted the video and certificates of compliance, as well as screenshots of reactions to the post as exhibits A, B, C, and C1. The witness told the court that the post was inflammatory, generated reactions, and that the DSS wrote to X and Meta to take it down, with the latest admitted as Exhibit D.
The federal government came to frustrate the trial today by not front-loading the documents, the necessary documents court ordered that they should front-load it. But we decided to waive it for them to proceed. So today, they called their witness who came to say that he has been monitoring all the cyber posting that has been happening in Nigeria.
They played the video of President Tinubu in Brazil, saying that there's no corruption in that. And the whole court,
including court staff,
there was an uproar in the court.
Including court staff.
So, for me, that is the end of the case. But like I've always said, when you meet these guys, and I've met them several times since I was a student union leader in the 90s, they have their priorities wrong.
Still ahead, Algerian Senate seeks changes to France reparations law. This story when we come back. Thank you for staying with us. A coalition of civil society organizations is sounding the alarm over what it describes as rising cases of unlawful demolitions, land grabbing, and forced evictions in underprivileged communities across Lagos. News Central's Israel Iferobo reports.
State government is the one benefiting from the crisis in Makoko because it has entered engagement with strange developers to land grab, to steal people's sweat.
At a press conference in Lagos, the group operating under the banner Coalition Against Demolition, Forced Eviction, Land Grabbing and Displacement accused government authorities and private interests of targeting waterfronts and low-income settlement. According to the coalition, communities affected include Makoko, Oworonshoki, Owodo Niri and Ijarabadia.
We, the undersigned national and international human rights, environmental and social justice organizations, including concerned citizens across the country, strongly condemn the Lagos state government's systemic, illegal, cruel, and deceitful demolitions.
The coalition claims that about 12 people have died following demolition exercises and forceful evictions in Makoko alone since December 2025, allegations they say demand urgent investigation.
Tear gas was deployed against women, children, elderly persons, people living with disability, leaving many injured and hospitalized, and with about 12 persons as we speak, including 2 babies, reported dead so far.
On August last year, precisely August 27th, they came back with one land grabber, Akim Ariori Abiodun, with 4 policemen, and they started shooting indiscriminately.
We also have a baby who was inside with the mother, but fortunately, that baby, somebody came in to pick the baby to be playing with the baby outside while the mother was sleeping inside. Then they threw the tear gas. Then the mother jumped up and the person that was holding the baby jumped with the baby into the river.
Beyond raising the alarm, the coalition outlined a series of demands to the Lagos state government, beginning with an immediate halt to all demolitions and forced evictions.
Anything less than justice, compensation, and resettlement will stand as a permanent stain on the Lagos state government's conscience and governance record.
As pressure mounts, the residents and rights groups say the government must urgently balance urban development with the protection of human rights and the dignity of vulnerable communities. In Lagos, for News Central, Israel Ifirobo.
Away from Nigeria, Algerian Senate has called for changes to a controversial law that labels French colonial rule a crime. This is coming nearly a month after the country's parliament approved the document. The law, passed unanimously by Algeria's lower house on December 24, describes France's rule over Algeria from 1830 to 1962 as a crime, calling on France to issue a formal apology and provide reparations for the colonial era. However, on Thursday, Algeria's Senate says parts of the colonial reparations law need revision. And one of our top stories tonight, United Kingdom says it will not yet be signing up to the U.S. President Donald Trump's proposed Board of Peace over concerns about possible participation of Russia. U.S. President Donald Trump unveiled the new international initiative, the Board of Peace, on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum in Davos. The initiative brought together leaders and senior officials from 19 countries who signed its founding charter at the summit. However, none of the United States' major European allies took part in the signing, including the United Kingdom. The White House says the board is aimed at resolving global conflicts and supporting rebuilding efforts in Gaza. Alexander von Rugen is a global policy analyst. He joins me now for this conversation on Trump's new board. Thank you for being here. Your thoughts on the assembly for the signing of Trump's charter and why it seems he is struggling to get his European allies on board?
After his speech at Davos, I think the European nations are still shall we say, a little not amused by comments that Trump had made towards them. He was abrupt, and by European standards, he was rude. Notwithstanding that, the plan to have a parallel or alternative enforcement group outside of the UN in Gaza, it doesn't sit well with some people because everybody has self-interest. What Trump is trying to do here in Gaza is to come up with an alternative to peace in an area that has been repetitively unsuccessful in achieving that. And he's putting a diverse group of countries together, members of the Abraham Accords in the Middle East. He's mixing up the countries to try to effectuate a resolve in Gaza. I believe he's not got the full support of Israel behind it because they want to manage it, but I think Trump's kind of trumped that idea by bringing in other allies, all putting $1 billion on the table to join the permanent board and to prove himself as a peacemaker. So I it's too premature to tell how that's going to work out, but anything that hasn't worked is better than a new proposal, or a new proposal is better than anything that hasn't worked in the past.
Okay, so there's this new talk about him, the Board of Peace, replacing the United Nations. The original mandate was about bringing peace to Gaza. Now it's, seeming to be a worldwide thing. How is this likely to challenge or complement the United Nations' role in resolving international conflict, even though we know the UN has said there will be no issue?
Well, the mandate of the UN stays. It's international laws stay. They're saying this charter will abide by international law. What they're doing is they're putting a group together, and I think they're going to cherry pick situations and conflicts in the world that have been unsuccessfully managed by the UN. So they're not replacing the UN on all fronts. I think they're going to cherry pick conflicts that have not been resolved, and they're going to do it in a more affirmative action manner. And let's see how that plays out. They're expanding the mandate from Gaza, but I think Gaza is going to be the first trial.
Would you not assume that the UK's hesitation to sign up to the charter is a big setback for the initiative?
I don't think it is at all. Starmer and Trump and Trump's opinion of Starmer are a matter of public record. The fact that Tony Blair is on the board, he's kind of a proxy for the UK, whether it's official or not, but that's symbolic. And obviously Blair is in line with Trump's idealistic motives here moving forward. He's making a point that Starmer's involvement is insignificant.
We're out of time. I wish we had more time. Thank you for speaking with us as always.
My pleasure.
Tonight returns with business, sports and entertainment news. Do stay with us.
Let's now bring you some business news. The Director General of the World Trade Organization, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, has called on Nigeria to move beyond economic stabilization and prioritize job creation and investment attraction. Now, speaking on Wednesday at a fireside chat at the Nigeria House during the World Economic Forum in Davos, Okonjo-Iweala said ongoing reforms must translate into employment opportunities. Now, she noted that while the federal government is on the right path, it must clearly map sectors with strong investment potential. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority says Nigeria will begin exporting urea by 2028, as it's positioned itself as a major hub for value-added oil and gas products. The chief executive of N18BN, Saidu Mohammed, disclosed this on Wednesday during a tour of Indorama Eleme Fertilizer and Chemicals Limited in Rivers State. He said Nigeria should no longer import urea and fertilizers, citing expanding private investment in the midstream sector. Mohammed estimated that $30 to $50 billion is needed to unlock the sector's full potential. Now, at the end of today's trading session on the Nigerian exchange, a total of 768,232,676 shares in 47,457 deals occurred but the exchange will close in the red with The all-share index ending at 165,397.37, while the market's capitalization at the end of trading at 105.89 trillion naira. Now, the markets ended bearish today, and all the indexes we're tracking are in the red. Insurance led the way with minus 1.35%, followed closely by consumer goods with minus 1.31%. Banking held the middle at minus 0.95%. Industrial goods comes next with minus 0.71%, and the rear guard is the oil and gas index at minus 0.15%. That does it for business news tonight. Up next is sports.
And in sports, Nigeria's senior men's handball team, the Golden Arrows, strengthened their title push at the 27th Men's Handball African Nations Cup in Kigali with a dominant 36-18 win over Zambia. Nigeria led 17-10 at halftime and controlled the second half 19-8 to move top of Group A with 4 points ahead of Rwanda, Algeria and Zambia. The result confirms Nigeria's place in the quarterfinal regardless of the result from their final group match. Farouk Yusuf, impressed from the backcourt. John Shagari was effective on the wing, while goalkeeper Michael Agbaji earned man of the match honors. Nigeria will face host Rwanda next as they chase a podium finish and qualification for the 2027 World Men's Handball Championship in Germany. And out of football, Remo Stars have been charged by the Nigeria Premier Football League for multiple breaches of its framework and rules following crowd disturbances during the match day 20 fixture against Ikorodu City on the 14th of January 2026. The league found the champions culpable of failing to provide adequate and effective security at the Ikene ground, a lapse that led to a brawl between supporters of both clubs. Several away fans sustained injuries, while vehicles belonging to Ikorodu City supporters were also damaged. Remo Stars were further cited for failing to control their supporters, who harassed and intimidated match officials and threw objects onto the pitch, causing repeated stoppages. The NPFL also condemned the possession of dangerous objects within the stadium, describing the conduct as culpable of bringing the game into disrepute. The club has been fined a total of 8 million naira and will play remaining home matches in Ibadan. Still talking football, the Ghana Football Association has confirmed that the Black Stars will play Austria in an international friendly as part of preparations for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The match will take place in Vienna on Friday, the 27th of March 2026 at the Ernst-Happel Stadium. It will be Ghana's first of 2 match friendlies before its second test against Germany on the 30th of March. Both teams have already sealed qualification for the World Cup, which will be hosted by Canada, Mexico and United States. Ghana have been drawn in Group I alongside England, Croatia, Panama, while Austria will face Argentina, Algeria and Jordan in Group J. The 2 matches are part of Ghana's final tune-up ahead of the tournament, which kicks off in June 2026 as the Black Stars step up their readiness for the global showpiece. And now to European football. The Enabled Association is taking Real Madrid Santiago Bernabeu Stadium to court over noise pollution from concerts, claiming the venue disrupts residents' quality of life. High-profile events in 2024, including the Taylor Swift concert, exceeded legal noise limits in the Chamartin area. Now, the case targets both the stadium company and director Jose Angel Sanchez, alleging insufficient soundproofing and violation of noise regulations. Now, after complaints, several shows were postponed or moved to Atletico Madrid's Metropolitano Stadium. The Bernabeu, revamped in 2023 at 1.5 billion euros, was of course intended as a year-round entertainment venue, but legal pressure has since limited its use for concerts. And that's all on sports tonight. I'm Favor into our entertainment is up next with Kate.
Exciting.
Exciting news in the world of entertainment for tonight. Now in global music news, Burna Boy continues to raise the flag for Afrobeats on the world stage, cementing his place as one of Africa's most influential musical exports. His song, Alone, has officially been certified gold by the Recording Industry Association of America, marking over 500,000 units sold in the United States. The track gained widespread attention after being featured on the soundtrack for Marvel's Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, where it stood out for its emotional depth and global appeal. The latest milestone adds to Burna Boy's growing list of international achievements and further underscores the expanding global reach of Afrobeats as African music continues to resonate with audiences far beyond the continent. Now over to big news on the international scene as the Oscars nominations are officially here. The 98th Academy Awards nominations are in and history is already in the books. Cinematographer Dorald Akapal has become the first woman of color ever nominated for Best Cinematography, earning recognition for her work on Sinners. And Sinners did not just make history. It dominated with 16 nominations, leading the pack with nods across major categories, firmly positioning it as a top contender heading into Oscar night. Close behind is One Battle After Another, which also scored heavily, 13 nominations to be precise, across key categories, with actress Tiana Taylor earning a Best Supporting Actress nomination, a moment widely celebrated as another major milestone in her acting career. Other films making strong showings include Marty Supreme, Frankenstein, amongst others. With the ceremony set for March 15, 2026 in Hollywood, the Oscars are shaping up to be a historic night of celebration, diversity, and remarkable achievement in cinema. Now that's it on entertainment news for tonight. My name is Kate Adeogun.
And that's the news for you tonight. But before we go, a quick look at our top stories. The Supreme Court has dismissed suit seeking retrial of Al-Mustafa over the murder of Kudirat Abiola. U.S. lawmakers have tasked Nigeria to bolster protection for Christians amid incessant attacks and abductions. Rivers State Chief Judge declines Assembly's request to constitute probe panel for Governor Fubara's impeachment. And the UK has snubbed Trump's signing ceremony for Gaza Board of Peace over concerns of Putin's involvement. As always, share your thoughts. We'd love to see them via the number showing now on your screen, or you can do that on social media at News Central TV. You can watch us live on DSTV channel 422, GoTV channel 23, Star Times channel 274, Abo TV, and on YouTube. As always, thank you very much for your kind company tonight. I'll see you tomorrow.